Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This essay is called Things That Perplex Me. Any of these things perplex you? Why isn't there a tax revolt? Most taxpayers get poor return for all those taxes, not just federal income tax, state income tax, maybe local income tax on top of it, but property tax, sales tax, tolls, gas taxes, and taxes that aren't labeled as such, usurious parking and traffic ticket fines, park and museum user fees, and I'm sure I'm not thinking of lots of others. Why hasn't the stock market crashed? Government large businesses with ever more required regulations and employee rights, and the presidential frontrunner wants to govern from the left. Yet the Dow Jones Industrial Average is near all-time highs. Why do banks keep lending to countries that keep increasing their debt, often to over 100% of their GDP? Would you do that with your money? Why do so many people still get married? Not only do half of people divorce, many of the rest schlep along for fear of divorce's pain and expense, or they stay together for the kids, or simply the tendency to inertia. Why do so many people have children? It's a mammoth sacrifice of freedom and money. I better understand it for people with an unrewarding work life, but for those with an otherwise rewarding life? Why the resistance to voluntary genetic enhancement? We readily acknowledge that genes are prerequisites to environmental influence in all plants and animals, including humans, yet we resist funding research toward voluntary gene therapy, for example, a pill to improve altruism, impulse control, or intelligence. Why are we forced to sacrifice so much, like higher gas prices, no freeways built to ease the gridlock, to try to cool the planet? Such efforts have such a small effect on the climate because, for example, developing nations, to keep their people from destitution, must use coal, which is much cheaper, I think 75% cheaper, to wit the continued explosion of coal-fired power plants in China. Why the explosion in anti-merit policies? Demographics are a heavy anti-merit finger on who to employ, who to promote, and who to admit to college, even to life-and-death medical school. Since the 60s, $22 trillion have been spent on the poor to supposedly compensation for compensatory programs. Yet the achievement gap remains as wide as ever. I have citations for these assertions, by the way, on the text version of this, which will be on Medium. Resources for the best and brightest, the people most likely to cure our diseases and be wise leaders, have been heavily redistributed to the, quote, least among us. If you owned a solar farm and could afford an additional solar collector, you'd put it in the area that had produced the most solar energy. But our government, our colleges, and many employers do the opposite. Why not automated baristas? The pool of entry-level employees isn't the most reliable, nor the fastest learners, nor the most emotionally stable, yet, meanwhile, the cost of employing them, thanks to new, quote, living wage ordinances, mandated benefits, and rights if terminated, grows. Why don't more cafes use automated baristas? They exist. Google it, you'll see. Why not replace homework with interactive online lessons taught by the world's most transformational teachers? Why don't we reform our election system? A career of pressing flesh, including flesh that you'd rather not press, deters many of the best people from running. And deceptive commercials, media bias, and meaningless street and lawn signs impede our judgment. Why not take a lesson from the extraordinarily successful index funds? Choose legislators using criteria such as Teacher of the Year, Cop of the Year, Most Cited Scientist and Most Cited Philosopher, and people at random to ensure ideological diversity. They'd vote for their CEO, that is, the mayor, governor, and president. I am perplexed. Can anyone help? Anyway, that essay is called Things That Perplex Me. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And certainly would welcome you to take a look at any of my 34 books. Probably the most relevant is Thought Experiments, but all 34 are on Amazon. Just go there, search on my name, Marty Nemko, Nemko, and you will find more than you can stomach. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.